Thank you for taking a few moments today and allowing me to share with you something we're very, very burdened about and passionate about for the Church of Jesus Christ and for our nation. Today I want to talk to you about what we've called a citywide Reformation strategy. What is that and what does that look like? First of all, we want to say that we believe that every region in America can experience the awakening and Reformation movement. We believe that we're in a very pivotal point for the church and for America. We think it's very important that there be faith within the heart of leaders for their region, for their ministry, to see again God move in such a way to be a part of this great awakening that leads into a massive move of Reformation. America and the church are in critical condition and in need of what I call immediate intervention. The church and political leaders mirror one another very often in that some seem to be unaware of where we are, and while others seem to understand the severity of our condition. While some offer the anesthesia by saying, hang in there, things are going to get better, we're on the right track, others consequently are realizing, no, that's not true at all. And they're saying there must be immediate and significant change. Simply stated, America and the church need God. The next 2 years are important for the church. We believe God is moving us into a time of historic reformation. A prelude to reformation is what only God Himself can do, and that is to awaken His people. At the close of 2010, as we moved into this year of 2011, I began to be impressed with the burden that pastors and local congregations and ministries all across America be a part of this awakening. Now, I understand that maybe all congregations may not make the shift from their traditions, but we feel the heart of God is that many can and that many will. We're praying and we're taking proactive faith steps this year to find these kingdom hotspots across the nation. One of our commitments for this year is to go into regions to meet with pastors, elders, community, and civic leaders to help implement strategies for cooperation while fanning the flames of awakening. As we move forward and as we begin to fan these flames and find these, if you will, spiritual hotspots, we're believing that God will begin to identify as He moves in such a powerful way prominent places around the nation in a significant way that where we as leaders, and as they did in the Scriptures, as the apostolic leaders and translocal leaders, may today the translocal leaders come alongside and partner in a kingdom way with leaders of local congregations and those that have oversight over regions and territories. So we're believing and we're praying that in this next days and weeks and even months that God would identify a few places where others and ourselves were more than willing and would love to partner with you in your region if God would so just bless that, to where we could come in 3 or 4 times even and just sow into, again, to partner with what God is doing there for societal reformation. It's time that the local house and that regions move forward in this assignment from God. And we know we must have key cities and regions that begin to model this thing of awakening and reformation, and to prepare us to move into 2012 with a sense of focus and strength. Now, I've presented, and I'd like to just very, very briefly and in closing give some scheduling possibilities. As each region, we understand, has its own callings, its own place of maturity and progress, etc. Some may look at hosting an entire weekend as we present it. Others may need to take a smaller step possibly, and just a piece or 2 components of that. Let me present this to you and have so you to consider it and pray about it and seek God. Our heart is to work hard this year, and that's our commitment before the Lord, to bring about the change we must have. So if we can help you, your ministry, or your region move forward in this awakening reformation, we would consider it an assignment for the Lord. And so let's pray together over these things. Here's, very briefly, a suggested schedule for this citywide reformation strategy. Possibly a Friday night gathering where we gather believers from around the community together, and a word is brought over the nation. Specifically, it would address how your region could be a catalyst for reformation. The session would include prophetic worship, intercession, and a gathering of leaders and, again, believers from your region. Then possibly Saturday morning, We're envisioning a gathering of regional leaders. But this would be a time when you have community leaders, a convergence and a synergy among leaders and the business leaders, those that are involved possibly in the 912 groups and those type of community activist type groups. We're going to bring them together, and pastors to bring them together and look at mobilizing and networking your region. Then Saturday lunch and or afternoon. We'd love to meet with those in your region who have a heart for governmental prayer, know what it is to move into this. This is a key part of getting America shifted, getting the church shifted, is bringing together these leaders and building a strong, mature prayer team that can move in that. So this would be a time when we equip the region, your region, if you will, as what we call a tent of Jael, to influence the governmental mountain and break off some of the things that would have been oppressing and holding back your region, your territory. Then Saturday evening, we envision this a time, very special time of meeting in a roundtable format with the host congregations, leadership team, the elders, etc., where we look at what is that ministry doing? What has God called it to do for regional reformation? How is the local house moving forward? How can it move forward? So many times it seems like when ministries come into regions and territories, this piece is left aside and it's not addressed. And we think it's very important this year that we have these local congregations begin to move forward. So we want to sit and interact and exchange and discuss ideas and strategy with local congregations of how they can shift and move forward. Then Sunday morning, we would meet with the host ministry in their corporate gathering for worship and bringing the word, looking at the question, bringing a word to that local house and how it can be a catalyst for awakening and reformation. And finally, we feel that possibly on that Friday or on that Monday, we could, if you would help us facilitate, we would love to meet with your mayor, your city council members, your county commissioner, police chief, those community leaders who are involved and engaged. We want to come alongside you and help facilitate that gathering and that meeting. Again, with the idea of being, we must have what we're calling kingdom alliances established today, where we begin to strategize and get the wisdom of God to bring reformation in our communities. Thanks so much for allowing me to share with you today. I would look forward to hearing from you. God bless you. Thank you.